Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we try to make sense of the complex financial world and sometimes uncover things that companies might wish we never saw. Today we are diving into a filing from Arbe Robotics Limited, and let's just say their latest report has some interesting things to say about their financial performance and the challenges they face. This filing is basically a report from Arbe Robotics, a company that is involved in robotics. Think advanced sensors for cars. They're telling us about their financial results for the quarter that ended on the 30th of September of 2025. It is like a mid-year checkup for their business. But they're reporting it to the US Securities and Exchange Commission, or SEC, to keep everyone in the loop. So the big news here is that Arbe released their financial results after the quarter ended. They held a conference call to talk about these numbers, and guess who was there to explain it all? The Chief Executive Officer, Kobe Marenko, and the Chief Financial Officer, Karine Pinto-Flomenboim. If you want to hear the details directly, you could have joined that call, and they even promised to have an archived recording available. Now, the company also included a really important section called Cautionary Note regarding forward-looking statements. This is basically a long disclaimer where they tell you that some of the things they say might be about the future and not set in stone. They're basically saying that stuff could happen that changes their plans. This part of the filing is really important because it lays out the storms they might have to sail through. They're pointing out big potential problems like trade wars, specifically mentioning tariffs from countries like the United States and China. Imagine what could happen if certain goods suddenly become much more expensive to import or export. Even more significantly, they're talking about serious geopolitical risks. They mention the ongoing conflict in Israel and the potential for that to spread. This isn't just academic. They're saying that this situation could affect their employees, their workforce, and the Israeli economy as a whole. Think about what happens when a significant number of people have to leave their jobs to serve in the military. That directly impacts a company's ability to operate and grow. They also touch on the possibility of boycotts against Israeli products and companies, which could hurt their business. And we all know how much currency exchange rates can matter. They're concerned about the value of the US dollar compared to the Israeli shekel. It is a lot of things outside of their direct control that could really impact their bottom line. It's like they're saying, hey, we're doing our best. But the world around us is pretty unpredictable right now. Now, the really juicy part of this report, the thing we all really care about, are the financial results themselves. And to get those numbers, we have to look at the press release that they attached. This is the company's own announcement of how they did financially. If we look at the financial statements for the 3 and 9 months ending the 30th of September of 2025 compared to the same period in 2024, we can start to see a story unfolding. For instance, they will be reporting their revenues, which is the total money they brought in from selling their robotic products and services. A growing revenue number is generally a good sign, suggesting increased demand and successful sales efforts. They will also show their balance sheet. This is like a snapshot of what the company owns and what it owes at a specific point in time. It tells us about their assets, like cash and equipment, and their liabilities, like debts they need to pay back. Knowing how much debt they have compared to their assets is crucial to understanding their financial stability. For example, if their debt is growing much faster than their ownership of assets, that can be a red flag. When we look at these numbers, we need to see if the company is growing, if they are becoming more profitable, and if they are managing their expenses. Well, for example, if their revenue is up, but their costs have gone up even more, then despite selling more, they might actually be making less profit. Warren Buffett often says to look at profitability and whether a company has a strong balance sheet. We will be looking to see if Arbe Robotics is demonstrating these qualities. We want to know if they are generating strong cash flow from their operations, which is the actual cash they make from running their business before paying off debts or making investments. A company that consistently generates positive cash flow has more flexibility and resilience. Looking at Arbe Robotics, they are operating in a very exciting but also very competitive field. The demand for advanced robotics and autonomous driving technology is huge, but so is the competition. They are trying to innovate and capture market share. However, as the filing clearly states, they face significant external risks that could impact their progress. Geopolitical tensions and economic volatility are serious concerns that can disrupt supply chains, affect demand, and even impact their access to capital. My take on this filing is that Arbe Robotics is in a high potential market, but they are navigating a very challenging and uncertain global environment. The financial results will paint a more detailed picture of their operational performance, but the risks they've outlined suggest that investors should proceed with caution. They need to not only innovate, but also demonstrate strong financial management and resilience to overcome the external headwinds they've so clearly identified. Alright, That is our breakdown of Arbe Robotics' latest filing. What is your take on these numbers and what they signal for the company's future? Does the potential for innovation outweigh the significant global risks? Drop your thoughts in the comments if this analysis was valuable. Hitting that like button really helps us out, and subscribe for more deep dives into corporate filing. Don't forget to check out the Discord channel linked in the description below for more discussions and insights, and we'll see you next time on Corporate Decoder.